goal is to make fitness fun and make fitness and wellness more than just something I have to do, but something that's more culturally ingrained in us so that we're making generational impact. I've been teaching women how to prevent type 2 diabetes on the North Side for about 3 years now.
What are your thoughts on everything that's happening right now? I mean, how do you summarize just kind of what you're feeling and experiencing in this moment?
Oh man. In one way, I get discouraged because I can't believe that we're here in 2020. And as a mother of a Black boy, the impact is really real. My people can't sleep. My people can't sleep. They're burning down their businesses. They're burning down their homes. They're terrorizing them. I feel this despair and this discouragement. And then I feel this hopefulness as well, because we're on the grounds and the neighborhoods are protecting themselves and the neighborhoods are rising up. We have such a spirit that surpasses all things. The love is really, really outshining the hate. The love is there.
Yeah, I just think what Valerie is doing is just amazing.
Yeah, great words of encouragement as well. Hey,